5 second countdown to being real?
It's already begun.
Oh no, it doesn't begin until we say it begins.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1. Hi, Amaka.
Hi, Donna-Michelle. Hi,
How are
everybody
you doing?
watching. I am doing okay. You
Yeah.
know, I've never been more grateful to be standing and have a voice
Mm.
and to be, counted among so many other strong, powerful presences, both here now and I think still to come. Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm always just about the same. Trying to continue doing the work that we've been doing because it was always important and continues to be important. And just as I know you are, trying to work in awareness of the vulnerability of Black people, Indigenous people, mad and disabled and trans people who are like whose vulnerability is exacerbated by the invisibilizing of the moment that we're in now,
Mm,
2020. And that's heavy and it's a lot. And so I also want to move in the awareness that it's okay for other things to coexist with that, and
thank
for
you.
us to continue to be in this moment in our lives, which incorporates that as well as other things,
For sure.
and to breathe all the time because we have that privilege. Ain't it good, air?
Mm.
So can I offer my condolences to your season?
Thanks.
And honor all the hard work that you did in preparation for bringing us the gobsmackingest Hamlet that Stratford's ever seen.
There was some good work going. I think I had finally, so I had an interesting journey being part of the conservatory from September to February, which is an actor training program with classical text.
Mm-hmm.
So I was here already in Stratford doing that, kind of getting to know the plays, getting acquainted with the theaters because I was new. And then I kind of had to be new again when the rest of the company came in to start rehearsals. Basically, it's just like being a new person, uh, kind of in the middle of this experience. I kind of wanted to disappear. I really wanted to evaporate and be someone else. um, but anyway, I was finally starting to come out of my shell, maybe, get over the newness, really play. Really, I had like shrugged off some of the fear finally. I think that's a really good place to be kind of frozen in time at.
Huh.
A good place to like take notes on and, a good place to go from when we come back. But yeah, I mean, in a way, I feel really fortunate to have workshopped uh, a good chunk. We were at like the penultimate scene. We were about to
Mm.
get into that. A good chunk of that is now workshopped, and we have a beautiful foundation that will evolve and develop. Certainly is already changing with everything that we are all facing. So it can wait. I think, like you say, Black and Indigenous and people of all colors have waited longer for much bigger change to take place. So I don't mind not being the center of attention for the next year.
That's very generous. And yet, for today, all I want to know about is you. So, welcome
Okay,
back to
just
the
for today.
center of at least my attention.
Just for today.
And you deserve it. Can we go into Hamlet world a little bit and into
Okay.
prep world? Because you gave me a really good segue. Having done all that workshop work and delving into the character, and also knowing, of course, that doing that work affects you as much as it affects the performance. Like that work is you work as well. One of the questions I wanted to ask you is about what part of your craft feeds you as a person.
It took me a while to accept that what we do as storytellers in whatever form is worthy work. I think that comes from, a nurturing, not to discount their care at all, but family and lineage and ancestry from Nigeria, where worthy work is a certain industry, is medicine, is law, is engineering, is and absolutely no doubt that's so true. And then on top of that, it comes from a care, in coming to terms with that. What feeds me as a person is knowing that this is essential, is knowing that
Mm.
I have family that can care for people's health, and I have family that can affect legislature, and my part in that is bringing forward tradition, is oral history, is physical movement based storytelling. And for the longest time, I thought, maybe this is not my purpose, like maybe this is not
Mm.
what I'm meant to do, because it's not what makes my family go, it does, it's they're still kind of like trying to get it. um, but I know that they love me, and I know that they support me, and because of that, I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. For now, I think that's what feeds me, is that like I don't have to like search for purpose, in the intention and awareness that you know I'm in line with this long-standing heritage of people. I feel really supported and grounded, but I didn't always.
You are at a good moment.
So.
Yeah.
I'm looking to light. I'm trying so hard to stay hopeful.
Yeah. And to feel your purpose is a really good place to ground.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, I've got Hamlet running through my mind
There we go.
as we've landed on purpose. And I mean, the character's been turned inside out for many a year. I'm curious about what, going into that character, what have you learned about yourself from relating to that character? Speaking of purpose,
Okay, this one's gonna be a little sad, but I don't care.
sadness is allowed.
Yeah, well, it would have been sad if I hadn't noticed it,
Mm.
but now I have. So I don't know. There's, Hamlet is suspicious of everyone, rightfully so, in his intuition. I'm also very suspicious of people, or like I was, until I realized how detrimental that was to
Mm.
to trust, to building trust in my life. If I think that as soon as I'm done hanging out with somebody and we have such a nice time, I go, oh my god, I bet they hate me. Like I'm such a burden. Like, I can't believe they forced me to do that. I forced them to do that or whatever. Or just like, negative self-talk. But
Yep.
especially in relationship to other people, I noticed I was like, oh, I get it. They they love me. Like they're actually looking out for me. That was such a revelation for me, to be like seeing what happens when you don't trust people,
Mm.
as digging into Hamlet. I'm like, oh, I can believe in love a little bit more in my life. So I guess that's not exactly how I'm like him anymore, but anyway, it helped me discover a way that I was, that I can easily understand, because I do it by default, or I've done it by default.
I think a lot about that, about the, like, how acts of self-defense can end up robbing us of experience. But
Mm.
and then there's a balance between, I want safety, and whatever's on the other end of, reaching a barrier between you and another human being
Mm.
that brings you closer together. That's a that's a big one. Thanks for sharing that.
Thanks.
I have another question, but do you trust me?
I do. I do. I'm working on it.
And what a
Well,
gift.
thankfully, I had the clarity of mind to start seeking, counseling and therapy
Mm.
around the beginning of the Hamlet rehearsal process, because it just kind of dawned on me that I really needed support in ways that I hadn't thought it essential before. And luckily, I got in touch through another Black actor with a Black therapist, and she's divine. And
Sick.
she said at the beginning, you know, part like our conversation is going to be centered on joy, centered around your joy. So start a list. And I mean, of course, now we're also delving into like some of the events and the traumas and stuff like that. But I feel really fortunate to have started that and to be able to continue with her. Yeah, centering joy. I was like, what? My joy? Because I get joy from my work.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd asked me, I would say, yeah, this brings me joy and this brings other people joy through me. So I just want to do a good job and be nice and liked. And I still want that, but you know,
Yeah.
that's not a full life. And
I don't
especially now that
know. I
I'm
super
not,
relate to those objectives.
yeah,
It
especially
sounds like
now that I'm not
a whole list.
a huge list.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not working, you know, my joy, what, you know, I can't do a good job,
No, now
you
you got
know?
nothing left but be nice. What do you mean? There's still a
Exactly.
whole list there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Be
true.
nice. That's a whole list.
But yeah, so I'm glad that she planted that seed when she did.
One of the ways that I've already referenced that you bring joy to people is in a somewhat symbolic way as a Black woman playing a role that's not cast with Black women, as a Black woman at one of the larger institutions in this country's theater landscape. And I just wonder if I could ask you to talk a bit about your being yourself inside of that. About, you know, I mean, of course, you can't not notice that you represent something
Mm-hmm.
to people. And how do you navigate how much of that you take on versus how much you serve what it is that you need to keep being that?
Okay, what definitely brings me a bit of comfort and strength is, you know, even though I'm the first one to do this here, first person who looks like me to do this here, I'm not the first one by a long shot in the rest of the world. So I feel like, all right, team, like, I'm glad to be involved in bringing the festival sort of up to speed, um, which I think is great. Now's the best time, of course, and I feel very fortunate. But yeah, I do not want to stand on a pedestal and speak for the entirety of Black people in time. So I find it good to know that like I'm not by myself,
Mhm.
even though it seems like this solitary event. I'm not alone. I have all of this support, and there is a wealth of strong Black, Indigenous, Latinx, Asian people who could play this role without a doubt.
Mhm.
So I don't feel like I'm speaking for everyone. I feel like I'm only speaking for me. And if other people relate, and for sure other people will, because you know it's a universal experience, and are excited by that, then I I feel like I've done more than I needed to. If I can just represent me,
Yeah.
I'm good. But this is a really interesting question because it worries me, obviously. I'm
Mhm.
so scared, you know? Because there's like you have to be exceptional too. You can't you can't just be regular. You can't just be kind of okay.
Hmm.
I have to like set the bar like real
Hmm.
high. And I think that just comes with working on it. So
Playing Hamlet is a lot of work.
yes.
But here's an additional list of work of deconstruction and unpacking and representation and making yourself safe and
Mm.
accountability and exceptionalism, which is itself about 1,000 pounds of weight. And yet, here you are, just sitting on the bar swinging your feet. Here's the bar. Hey, buddy, there's the bar. I really appreciate you acknowledging your place in a continuum of excellence which
Hmm.
I think is right on.
You're so good at words.
Hey, you should
You're
see what I
so
do for a
amazing.
living.
I know. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you be the center of my attention today. Also,
Likewise, mutual admiration society, as a friend of mine once said.
nice. I love that.
I love all the ways that yourself and others are standing up. And I love being able to look to your work and to point to your work and talk about your work. And I also wish for the broader community to be part of that, be part of making sure that you're lifted up in that and that your needs are met, and that the only part you have to do alone is the insecurity part that we all have to do.
Amen. Ashe.
I wanted to talk to you about the broader world in this moment that we're in right now that requires so much strength to move through and to continue doing other living things. And there will be more names.
Mm.
I kind of want to speak that right now we're grappling with graphic stories of the deaths of George Floyd and Regis Korchinski Paquette and Tony McDade, to name just a few of them. And we're all having to continue moving through our lives with not new information, but a lot of new images and a lot of new discourse. How are you doing in this moment? And like, I guess what's holding you?
Yeah, I feel really sensitive. I mean, it's always a sensitive subject, and this is a unfortunately a continuing cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We have the racism epidemic, and we have COVID-19 also on the tips of our hearts. And my friend Beck said, our hearts are really close to our skin right now.
Hmm.
And my other friend Eva said, yeah, and our veins are working harder to get us through this big thing. And I really feel that. I feel now though, you know, in the stillness surrounding these recent events, the stillness precipitated by the virus, the first virus, the other virus, and maybe me being a little bit older now as well. There's a sense of like strength, but also like a direction in which to channel the energy, like the
Mm-hmm.
hurt and the fear and rage. I don't necessarily like paying attention to this feeling because I want to, for example, be in a majority white, historically white institution and keep the peace, be equal, and in so doing kind of erase the the 100% realness of what who I am and where I am means, on other people's behalf. And I think that's more dangerous than helpful.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm happy that I am standing. Like I feel so I put my feet on the ground and the ground talks back.
Mm.
That's kind of what's holding me, I think, is not just these recent events, but like it's I'm doing a disservice to myself and to generations to come and generations behind me if I don't use this time and this platform and be in this place in the fullness of what that means. And of course it's uncomfortable, but nothing changes otherwise. So like why else would I be here?
Yeah. Purpose, son.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have a lot of time left, but I wanted to ask about something that moves you in a
Ooh.
non-theatrical art form. And but I don't want you to tell me what it is. I want you to tell us what it's
Oh.
like.
Oh, wow. Okay. Tell you what it's like. I just instantly want to say, it's this, and
I know you.
everybody should. Okay. It feels like it's from the future. It feels like it's from like 2028. And it feels like it's from, you know, 1978 at the same time. It pulls the past into the future and pulls the future back into this moment. And it's saucy. It's so seasoned. It's flavorful. It's percussive. It's rich. It's unapologetic. It's wealthy. It's African. It's so African. It's so beautiful. Yeah, there's rhythm and there's blues in it. There's hip hop. There's dance hall. There's rap and song and history, a little history I didn't know even. And I'm like, oh, I know where I'm from. But they were like, this is the part that they didn't tell you. They conveniently left this part out. It's really, like black boy joy at its finest. And it literally moves me. Like I cannot not be moved by it. Yeah, it's nourishing. It's really, really good soul food. Like I go home and my mom makes those meals that I used to eat as a little baby and love. It feels like that. It reminds me of that.
Okay, I need this in my life. Can I guess real quick?
Okay.
I'm never gonna get it. Is
I
it Toby?
honestly, is it what?
Toby?
Oh, not Toby, but him too.
Okay. Am I in the ballpark?
Yes. Okay, should I tell you?
Oh my god, please tell me. And
You're
like
definitely in the
an artist, and if there's a specific song you recommend for us to start off with.
Okay, it's Burna Boy. His album's called African Giant. And the song, the song that like that makes my heart go doo-doo, is called Bona, Gbona.
Okay, because I love it when my heart does that.
Yeah,
I love it.
and it gives you the like the
Mm,
stank, like
mm.
oh
Dirty happy. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you for offering us something that gives joy and strength. I can't wait. That's going to be the playlist of the day.
Thanks.
Today, I really
Enjoy.
appreciate it.
Enjoy.
I want to circle back to something that you said in the beginning and bring it back to you.
Okay.
You were talking about being new and then being new again, and then adding on to that, shrugging off the fear, some of the fear of newness.
Mm.
I think that's also an offering to contemplate being in a spirit of constant renewal, but past the fear. And like,
Mm.
yeah, if I could be frozen somewhere, that's not bad. That's when you recklessly jump the canyon because you didn't do the math. And surprisingly, the math, wouldn't have helped because you can do it. You can jump the canyon. I wanted to offer you a little bit of space for any last thoughts that you want to leave us with before we're out.
I feel really proud to be here. And, pride is one of those things. You grow up in the church, you're taught it's a deadly sin. But I think I think a little bit of pride in myself and in my work and in my culture and in my community is very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really proud to be here, and I think that The Stratford Festival has a great deal to teach me. You know, I'm a young craft person, and there are people who've been here for decades, tens of seasons, and I look forward to learning from them. But I think that there's also something for the festival to learn and something for its audienceship to experience that's unfamiliar and waiting to be learned by them. So I feel so grateful to have this platform. My heart goes out to all the people who are grieving in one way or another. Take care of yourselves, hydrate, rest, rage against the machine, and keep your heart close to your skin. You know, yeah.
Thank you. Since you only allowed yourself a little bit, I'll take the rest. Amaka, I'm proud of you.